Hey everybody, David here at Unsightly Vinyl, here to do a Vinyl Fonz video. With the whole pandemic thing going on, a lot of us have had to resort to buying our albums online. So I just wanted to quickly go through what I've picked up over the course of March, April, and May, and just share with you my newest additions. So the first one is one you may have seen Beth at B-Side Records show. But it is the soundtrack to 30 Days a Night. This is a vampire movie, kind of a modern day vampire movie. But it features the music by Brian Reitzel. I'm not sure how you say it. But kind of reminds me of Nine Inch Nails. It's kind of got that industrial sound to it. But I've really enjoyed this, and I will be definitely sharing this with you all around Halloween time. Next is one I bought at Walmart. This is something that came about as a result of my collab session with Merrick at the Vinyl Truffle. This was one of his favorite albums from the 90s. I wasn't a fan of Rage Against the Machine back in the 90s. I didn't care much for Zach De La Rocha's vocal styles, and I thought that Tom Morello's guitar just sounded like noise, but I really enjoyed this. In fact, I may have to go get the remaining 3 albums in their discography. Next we have Beastie Boys, License to Ill. I watched a documentary on Apple TV, and I realized this was one missing in my collection. I have Ill Communication and Hello Nasty, but I didn't have this one, so License to Ill by Beastie Boys. The next one is a band that I'm new to. It is Slow Dive, and this is their self-titled album, I guess, Slow Dive. Yeah. I discovered them through YouTube. I was watching one of your all's videos, and in the recommended section underneath it, there was a live performance on, I think, KEXP in Seattle of them performing some songs from this album, and I really liked what I heard, and decided to purchase the album and give it a chance, and it's a really great album. I posted a photo on Instagram a couple days ago, and I got a comment from John at the Digital Gramophone. It said, "Nice, David," so I think John approves. Let's see. Here's another one I purchased at Walmart. Ozzy's latest album. I don't have a lot of Black Sabbath and Ozzy in my collection. In fact, I think I have like Memoirs of a Madman, and the only Black Sabbath I have is the one that has Paranoid on it. So I went ahead and got this. It may be one of Ozzy's last albums, if I'm being honest, but I've enjoyed this. It's kind of dark and depressing. I mean, it's mostly about death, but good effort from Ozzy. The next few albums are ones that I purchased having watched the documentary, documentary Dig. Kimbo made the suggestion that I check it out, because he knew I was a BRMC fan, and he didn't realize that Peter Hayes was a member of the Brian Jonestown Massacre. So the documentary Dig it's a feature about the Brian Jonestown Massacre and the Dandy Warhols. I was a fan of the Dandy Warhols back in the 90s, and this was my favorite album from them, particularly the songs Night Through the Last Junkie on Earth and Every Day Should Be a Holiday. But there's a track on this called Pete International Airport, And I recently shot my video for the BRMC Artist Spotlight, and it was through research and stuff that I realized that Robert Levon Bean of BRMC was featured on an album by an artist named Pete International Airport. And it is this album, Safer with the Wolves. And he appears on a track called Flowers of Evil. So naturally, being the big fan I am, I had to have this. This is actually a really good album. This came out in 2017, and it was produced and engineered by Peter Holmstrom, who is a member of the Dandy Warhols. So, Pete International Airport, Safer with the Wolves. And while I was at it, I went ahead and got their first album as well. Ian Brown, former lead singer of the Stone Roses. This is his album Unfinished Monkey Business. This is one that I had in iTunes and just never had it on CD or vinyl. And I've been going back and re-listening to the Stone Roses, and I thought I would give them a try, but I do recall I did like this, and I liked John Squire's solo project, The Seahorses. I just, for whatever reason, the Stone Roses as a group never really clicked with me. But I will admit that going back now and re-listening to it, I do like it a lot more than I did. So I have The Second Coming on order right now and should be getting it soon. But this is Ian Brown's Unfinished Monkey Business. Really, really like the track on this one, My Star and Corpses in Their Mouths. Good album. If you're a fan of the Stone Roses, definitely worth checking out. Next is The Kills, and this is their album Blood Pressures. I have their other album Ash and Ice, and I really like Alison Mosshart, her vocals. She also does vocals for Jack White's side project, The Dead Weather. So I went ahead and ordered this one. Excellent album. Some standout tracks for me are Future Start Slow, Satellite, DNA is a good one, and then You Don't Own the Road. So, The Kills. I've been kind of on a Radiohead kick lately, so I ordered this one. This is I Might Be Wrong. It's a collection of some live recordings, and it has the version of True Love Waits that I was familiar with before it was recorded and appeared on Moon Shaped Pool. So, Radiohead. And lastly, the soundtrack to Inferno by Hans Zimmer. Just a big fan of Hans Zimmer, and I really like the track Cavaliers de Sangreal from the Da Vinci Code. There is a variation on this album. It's on the track Life Must Have Its Mysteries. Just good music to spin while I'm working, just kind of in the background, and I really enjoy this. I've got a few more on the way. I'll just wait and do those, maybe a June and July Fonz video. But that's going to do it for this one. Hope you all are doing well and are looking forward to the weekend. And until next time, take care. Thanks.